Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. I want to talk a little bit today about just an analogy that I literally woke up thinking about, and I know that it's going to help some of you guys in terms of dealing with the middle when you're experiencing the opposite of what you're actually wanting to manifest. Everything is a manifestation, which means that everything literally is just coming into being based on your conscious and your subconscious thoughts. Oftentimes, when we go through the middle, we're going to end up experiencing the things that we don't want. And this is the point where you really want to dig your heels in and be super strong and be super faithful to your end, and in complete trust, having blind faith and trust in God. Okay, so before I get into this, and it's going to be a short and sweet video, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you love my content. And if you need help, feel free to email me, and I will get back to you with my next available session. You can book either a 30, 60-minute session or even a package, which makes regular meeting much more affordable. I woke up with this analogy in my head. So you guys have watched probably more than enough YouTube videos now on the subject of law of assumption, understanding that circumstances don't matter, that you continue to persist in your end, and you want to embody the state of the wish fulfilled. When you are going through the middle and you're experiencing unwanted circumstances, and it gets harder and harder, or at least it appears to feel like it's getting harder and harder, and you keep wanting to give up and you keep spiraling down, and it keeps getting almost worse in your 3D reality. I want you to think about this as an analogy. Now, I know that Neville Goddard used the analogy, and I'm not going to be quoting verbatim, and I don't even know exactly which book this was, but that think of your 3D as being dead. I am a very sensitive person, and I'm kind of like more like light and loving about things and how I see things from my perspective. So thinking of the 3D as being dead, just that in itself just feels very like harsh to me. So I think about it differently. And so I'm going to share this perspective, and hopefully, again, I want it to really hit some of you guys, and I hope that it resonates. Think about when you have identified, let's say, for example, being in the loving, stable, secure, safe relationship with the love of your life. When you embody the state of the wish fulfilled and you're living from the end of that, and it feels really good. And many of you guys may not be seeing movement, but movement is always happening. Many of you guys are back in contact with their specific person, and sometimes it's kind of up and down. And sometimes like you'll be wavering basically between fear and doubt. No, excuse me. No, you're wavering between love and fear, trust and doubt. And you're experiencing probably the same, that your person is kind of wavering too. This is normal. I don't want you to worry about this. You're not ruining anything. All you're doing is continuing to trust in the faith and in the love that's deep down in your soul. Okay. So again, having that blind faith. But this is something that happens. So instead of thinking of the 3D as dead, I want you to think of it how I like to think about it. When you are experiencing the unwanted circumstances and they're coming up, think of it like flowers out of a garden. Okay, so you've been planting your seeds and you've done all of the proper work. You have gotten the soil prepared, like you've gotten your mind prepared. You've planted all the seeds, and that means like you're doing all of your inner work. You've identified who you truly are and who you believe that your person truly is. And now it's time to allow the seeds to grow without constantly digging them up and ruining them while they are trying to take root. And you want it to get all the proper sunshine and all the proper nutrients and all of that great stuff. Now, let's say now that your flowers have bloomed in your garden and you've now experienced, your person's back in your life. So now you go out and you've taken all of those flowers out of the garden. So you've cut them and now you have these flowers. And when you take your flowers and you put them in a vase and you add water to them, they actually start to open up and bloom more. But technically speaking, they're dead. You cut them at the root, but they continued to bloom. And I know that this sounds like it's going to be an analogy of like a beautiful thing, but I am actually using it as this. When you've identified the end of being in a happy, stable, and secure, happy, loving relationship with your specific person. And you're staying in trust and faith of that. In that exact moment, ask and ye shall receive. Ask and ye shall receive. In that exact precise moment, God has gone ahead of you, and everything that needs to happen is already at work, whether you see it or not. So the roots that were connected with the fears, maybe if you've had some sort of a trauma growing up or whatever, but with all the fears, the worries, and the doubts, those things that come up on the surface for you to look at so you can just give yourself all the love, release them, let it go, and just continue to persist in the new, those roots, the same way when you cut the flower, those roots now have been cut off. And God has already gone to work. So you don't have to worry about those roots anymore because those roots are dead. But in your 3D reality, you might see the opposite still, and you think that somehow this is still alive. But just like the flowers after they've been cut will bloom and open up more, they only open up probably for a matter of a couple of weeks and then they wither away. So when your 3D reality is showing you the opposite and it's worse than ever, and I know that it gets very hard, and those are the moments where you're like, am I being tested, or I'm not doing this right, or I don't know what I'm doing, or do I need to change what I'm doing? Like, you go through all your worries and doubts. Just continue to persist, because just like the flowers bloom when they're actually dead, the roots that were connected to your fears, worries, and doubts, they have been cut off. And when you continue to persist and trust, while the blooming of the flowers are happening, knowing that the blooming is only going to last for a very short time. In other words, the opposition that you're facing is only going to last for a short time. And then it's going to wither away completely because you have starved those roots. You've cut them off at the source. There's no more fear, worry, and doubt because you're staying in trust and faith of your end. Okay, so just like the flowers, even though they are technically dead, they continue to seem to be alive. They will open and blossom. It's just a matter of time that they will close, wither away, and then they go away. It's the same with the opposition that might be coming up in your 3D reality, whether this is in thought form or in emotion form, or actually in a 3D circumstance form. If it is not in alignment with your end, it's just the flower blooming, but it's been cut off at the source. The roots are dead. You don't continue to plant new fears, worries, and doubts. You continue to just trust in your end. Let the bloom happen and trust and know that this is just going to wither away. The fears, the worries, and the doubts, the circumstances you don't want, the opposition, whatever it is. And it doesn't matter whether this is that you're manifesting something with a career, money related, health related, or love related, any kind of relationship. But you know, I like to focus on deep soul connections because I am a lover and I love love. And by the way, a lot of you guys ask for specific person success stories. And one of the reasons I don't do it is because it automatically puts people in this kind of comparison mode, which is very unhealthy, and it doesn't help. And I don't want to trigger people. What I will tell you, though, with 100% certainty and complete confidence, is that while many of my clients, I've had many, many, many clients that I've helped now, and many of my clients are at different stages. The clients that take this very seriously and that continue to do the inner work and they continue to persist and they stay in trust and faith, and they shut down all of the stuff in 3D that triggers them, always persist through much quicker, and they end up getting results much quicker. You have to have that trust and faith and surrender, and know that when you continue to persist, even when those flowers are blooming and the opposition seems to be so real, the opposition will wither and fade away when you know that it's actually already dead. It's already gone. It's already done. Persist in your end. Continue to trust, have blind faith. And I promise you, you're not wasting your time. You're doing everything right. And you will literally experience your full manifestation quicker if you just remain in trust and faith and don't worry about the time. Just don't worry about the time. A pregnant woman doesn't rush her baby out of her belly, okay? What she does, if she wants to have a healthy baby and a healthy birth, is she stays cool, calm, collected. She takes care of her body, mind, soul. She's rested. She does things, hopefully, to enjoy her life. And she doesn't rush it. So please don't rush it, okay? I love you guys so much. Please do comment down below that you trust in your end and that you know it's done. And if you need help, just email me. I love you guys so much. Have an amazing day. Bye.
Nothing can come between us.